Hello, ladies and gentlemen. No Life Gamer here, and we're going to be talking about did we get ripped off with Star Wars Battlefront 2015 edition? Well, today we'll be discussing this, and frankly, this is honestly partially the fanboy fault. Some people don't like the lack of content that Star Wars Battlefront 2015, the new one, has. And if you are one of those fanboys that said that you don't want a Battlefield 4 or you don't want a Battlefield reskin, you're an idiot. Because the reason of you saying that is the reason we got this game. Now you might be saying, well, this doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about? DICE asked the public what they wanted in the game. They wanted a Battlefield reskin, which what was Battlefront 1 and 2 were. They were just reskins. And they said, no, we don't want a reskin. We want our own independent game. Well, that's great. I think that's awesome. But you just ruined the game for everyone else that really enjoyed it and just liked the game how it was. We gave you its own independent game. It had its own title. It didn't even mention that it was part of a Battlefield. It was Battlefield skin. But it's just everyone said they wanted it in their own independent game, so they basically just took it and then made it their own game. That's fine. I get how people would want that, but that just ruined the game for everyone else who just wanted a Battlefield reskin, who didn't and they just wanted to play it how it was, a fun, awesome, cool, play with your friends game. And you can't even do that now. It's not even online multiplayer. You can't with two people. You can't play, the Conquest with your friends. It was bad. It was good back then. Now it's just bad. So it's your own damn fault if you said and you wanted your own independent game because that's who DICE listened to. They listened to the fanboys. I personally never told them. I saw that they were asking people what they wanted from the Star Wars Battlefront community, and everyone said we want our own independent game. Well, that's what you got, and if you don't like it, well, you better learn to like it, because us people just paid $60 so we can play this game because you idiots said you didn't want a Battlefield reskin. Well, that's your fault. Now, if it feels like we've got ripped off, now this is just gonna go into company and opinion here. It was made by DICE, it was developed by DICE, produced and directed, basically directed by EA. They call the shots, pretty much. Not the ones who make the game, but they call the shots, which is really stupid in my opinion. DICE talked EA into letting us vote, and this is what we got. So we can't throw a fit, if we got low content, because that's what EA does. If you haven't noticed, okay, if you say, oh, Battlefield sucks because you got to buy all these things and all these things just to get premium or something, that's not DICE's fault. That's EA's fault, because they do this with a lot of their games so that way they can get profit. Granted, you have to remember that they compete with Call of Duty, one of the stupidest and biggest franchises that you will ever play. Now, granted, I will still play them because they're a hot topic, but I do not very much like them. If I don't like a Call of Duty from the get-go, I won't play it. Black Ops 3 was actually a pretty decent game on multiplayer. I'd actually advise you to check that out. Even if you don't like Call of Duty, you should just check it out anyway. It's pretty well balanced for Call of Duty, but back to getting to Battlefield, or Battlefront, rather say, Star Wars Battlefront. Getting back to that topic. The reason is EA has always done this. We go back to Battlefield. Once they've got this game, they will try and max the profit for this game as much as they can. Look at Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3. You got the premium. If you had a premium gun, you were winning in that 1v1 firefight. If you had I had the standard UMP-45 or the UMP-9 on Battlefield 4. But this guy had the MPX because he spent that $50 on that DLC and that premium. Well, guess what? he's gonna win that firefight unless I hit him in the head every time with a headshot. It's just basic. It's just basic thinking pretty much. You spend the money, obviously you're gonna win because they're not going to, they're not stupid. They want to maximize their profit the best they can. And honestly, can you blame them? I mean, they compete with Call of Duty. But the point being is DICE has told them every year, we probably shouldn't do that, or at least lower the price, or give them what they want. Look at Battlefield 4, we've been getting free DLC, and the community still comes back and plays it. It's got, sometimes it has millions of players, and sometimes it's got hundreds of thousands of players. It's just, it varies within each day. But one thing that keeps the community coming back is free DLC, free new content added into the game. Now, when you look at Star Wars Battlefront, we don't know. This game has just came out. We don't know what the EA and DICE has in store. Rather, I should say DICE because they're the ones calling the shot. Now, the problem is with this is, like I said, EA is calling the shots. If they want to add the $60 season pass, which they already have on the market, which you can buy, that's not anyone's fault. That's like, if they want to do that, especially DICE's, that's not their fault. It's not their problem, and it's not their there's not their responsibility for us to be angry at them. It's not their fault. They weren't responsible for that action. Now, DICE has been telling EA for a long time, don't do this because it just brings more and more people to the stupid franchise of Call of Duty. That's a whole nother video, and I won't be discussing that, even though I already have a little bit. So, like I've been saying, they're going to add the $6 season pass, you're going to get these really cool guns, you're going to get probably a couple more characters, and I know you'll be getting a total of 16 to 18 new maps. Now you're thinking, well, this game has not a lot of content, so we should probably invest in that. Well, you're probably right, because this game has very little content, very little maps. There's actually quite a few game modes, but the thing is people aren't going to, I mean, if you've learned from it, then yes. Like, if you're really gonna play this game a lot and you enjoy this game a ton, go for it. But don't, if you feel like you just play this game for like an hour a day, you just play it for a little bit of fun, you don't need to invest your money, especially $60 of your money built in. I mean, like, that's one of the biggest things, like, why would you do that? Now, if you just really want it, and like, even though you don't have very much time to play it, well, I can understand that. I mean, if you want to play it, you can play it. I mean, I'm not going to control you, and I'm not telling you that, I'm telling you right now you can't do that, but I'm telling you that you should invest your money wisely. Why not take that game and that money, save a little bit up, and just buy the new Battlefield that's going out? And that'll be another video coming up, so be sure to check that out. And the problem is, frankly, if you spend the $60, there's no guarantee that it's going to be a good $60 well spent. And that's just how it is with every game. Look at Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, for instance. Me and my dad, we spent the extra $50 on the season pass for that game, and it wasn't worth it. Our money. You don't spend a whole nother amount of money on when you could buy a whole nother new video game. You don't spend $60 when you could just on a season pass, downloadable content, when you could just buy another video game, buy FIFA, buy Madden, certain things like that. So if it's just, honestly, it's just stupid if you spend that much money. I'm not gonna be nice about it. It's just stupid. But like I said, if you play this game a lot and you really enjoy it, go ahead. Spend that hard-earned $60. I ain't gonna stop you. But that's exactly what they want you to do, is they want you to spend that $60. Now, I could be wrong and I could be right, but I'm probably right. Because every other major YouTuber tell you the same thing. EA just wants their profit. And that's what they want to get. And once you get that profit, they're going to be like, we can just keep doing this again, and these idiots are just going to keep buying into it. Not me. I haven't bought a premium for any video game because I know that it's just going to die out eventually because it's Battlefield. And one day, Call of Duty and Battlefield will both die out, and it'll be some stupid other genre of video game. But, it's just certain opinion. Now, one game I might actually spend my 60 bucks on is the new Battlefield 5 when that comes out. I honestly probably might spend my money on that because it's going to be a popular game, I hope. Now, it's another topic, like I've said, so we won't release any more information like I'm going to say. But honestly, I think you probably are getting your money ripped off from you if you want to. If you don't play this game much, you are getting ripped off, and in the season pass aspect. But if you spend the $60 on just this game, like this video is supposed to be about, now I'm going to get into explaining to you why you like this game is an alright game, but like I've said, it's not what it was supposed to be because of the fanboys out there. Now that that's happened, we're not going to get the content that was on the older games because one, it's EA controlled. If it was DICE would have gotten the developers of the older game, and they would have been like, all right, you know, let's get them in here and tell us what really makes the game, you know, or they would get just average players, not fanboys of the game that just averagely play it with their friends and stuff. You know, we've waited so long for a new Star Wars Battlefront that people aren't probably. You know, they're going to look back at this video and they're probably going to go, wow, man, this guy's probably right. Now, if you think I'm completely wrong, well, that's your opinion, and you know, I can't control your opinion. So, did we get ripped off? I'm going to go with, yeah, we did get ripped off a little bit. And the reason for I say that is because we didn't get the content of the older Star Wars Battlefront. We got the content of a vanilla iced down Battlefield game. Take Battlefield minus its maps and minus a lot of its guns. This is what we got in Star Wars form. It's still a Battlefield reskin, except in third person. You know, except there's just minor changes. Like, you don't just pick up vehicles. Like, you don't just hop in them. You have to call them in. You know, like, there's just certain things like that aren't in Battlefield, but that's pretty much what we got as a community, and we can't blame anybody else but ourselves if you're one of those people. But I was not one of those people who voted that they wanted their own independent game, and you know, there's nothing we can do about it now, so we might as well just embrace this game. And you'll probably, like I said, you spend an hour playing this game, don't buy a season pass. You really enjoy this game, go ahead, spend that extra hard-earned $60 of your paycheck or your allowance on spending season pass. But don't get upset when you buy that season pass and it was just a waste of money. If it ends up being like that, if it's how EA likes it, it probably won't be a waste of money at all, and you'll actually get your money's worth. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes you'll think it doesn't. And personally, a lot of the time it doesn't with most games. But this is exactly why I think this game has been a bit of a fail and a bit of a vanilla down, not a lot of content ripped off game. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you understand where I was coming from, and I hope you have a nice day. Goodbye.